And we are live. Hello everyone, this is the Void Executive and welcome to the stream. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. At least it was nice for me, because thanks to that day I made quite a few upgrades to the setup that should hopefully improve the quality of the stream. The first of which is an arm for the microphone, so it's no longer in the way and you will no longer hear me move the microphone around whenever I need to start drawing, because now it's fixated on a specific spot. No need to move it anymore, so hopefully the volume of my voice should be pretty consistent as well. Another piece of hardware I got myself for Christmas, which should improve the quality of the streams, is a Stream Deck. I have yet to use it because I am waiting for for an extension for the USB ports, because I'm running out of USB ports available in my computer, so I'm buying one of those I don't know the specific term, but you know when you don't have enough power outlets, so you buy an extension with multiple power outlets that stem from one single power outlet. Yeah, it's basically the same thing with the USB ports. Once I have that, I'll be able to use the Stream Deck. Other than that, I hope that your holidays has been pretty nice overall. Speaking of which, this is the reason why the last 2 days where I would have streamed, I did not stream, which was yesterday and December 24th, so Christmas Eve. This will be the second to last stream of the year, the next one being on the 29th, which it will be exactly 1 month since we since I've opened the channel. So a little bit celebration, and quite a coincidence as well that exactly one month anniversary for this channel is also the last stream of the year. Then the reason why is because on the I won't be streaming on New Year's Eve for obvious reasons, but the broadcast will resume with the first stream of the year being on January 2nd. So what we are going to do in these two last streams, well, we'll simply continue with the project. It may be a bit getting boring, but I'm very excited to see the progress that we are having. Also, another thing that I noticed that should work is that last stream I unfortunately missed hello. How are you doing? Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, I was testing that. Let me. Now the messages should give me a notification whenever someone writes a message. I know this one is for a test. If you can try to send it again and see if I can hear the notification, because in the last stream I was so locked in drawing that I missed a couple of messages. In the meantime, let me show you the progress that we made. Okay, so very good. Okay, so last time we continued with the third mask to place on top of the face of the god. So in this stream we'll try to hopefully finish this one, and then if we still have some time, start a new one. I think I'm pretty satisfied with how this one went. Of course there will be some things to change, some things to add, and some things we've already changed, like the color of the butterflies. Okay, 1 second. Okay, sorry, I have a bit of a cold, so if I sneeze, I apologize. Probably the season. But yeah, we started with this one and we are going to finish it, and then we'll position it on the main body, which is this one, and do the same thing that we did with all of the previous masks. So position the mask itself, add all of these special effects. Oops. So far we finished 2 of them. This is the 3rd one. So, okay, let me grab some background music for the mood, and then we can start. In a second. And we go. Hope the volumes are okay. And then let me check real quick if everything is working fine. I think it is. And then on we go. In these past few days, I haven't done much. Mostly played the same game that I talked about last time, which was Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. When I'm off stream, I avoid continuing this project because I want this to be something that's documented throughout the streams, so no process is left behind, so anyone who wants to see how I do things can easily check without having some part of the process skipped. Now, I think now we need to work primarily on this vine thing, and especially the flower. Then do some small adjustments, like remove these small imperfections, then place the mask on the body, add the final touches, and then I think we can call this one finished. Before that, let's do this flower, which is the part I think needs some more love. I was thinking maybe to add one butterfly over here and have the light influence the flower over there. So I think we can draw one of the butterflies already. Thank you. Okay, I'm noticing that I didn't get the message ding, so maybe it's something. I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe I need to okay, let's try this one. You know, the volume should work technically, but not sure why I'm not getting the notification. Well, I'll make sure to check the chat every once in a while. Okay, so wait, let me get rid of this. Yeah, of this part of the sketch, which I don't think we need. Hello. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. And happy holidays. I'm making some art for a mod for a game. One of those games that have modding support on the Steam Workshop. The game in question is called Shadows of Forbidden Gods. A strategy game, where you choose one of the available gods and end the world in a randomly generated fantasy environment. And me and others are trying to make this god, which will be playable once it's complete. The others are making the coding part. I am the one in charge of the artistic part. I hope you play it when it's done. Yeah, no problem. Have you tried the base game, however? It's one of those games that are pretty unknown. It's a game made by one developer, but I mean, I personally really enjoy it. It's one of those hidden gems that lurk within the Steam store. It's on Steam. Wait, let me put the link that leads to the game. Oh, it's even on sale at 85%. It's cost €3 if you ever want to try it out. There is also a demo. Okay, I posted it in the chat if you want to try it out. The UI is a bit rough, but it's a very complex game. I highly recommend it if you like turn-based strategy games, that is. It's very in-depth in terms of mechanics, because essentially you start with a randomly generated world with kingdoms, heroes, and you choose the god, each god has different types of game mechanics and playstyles, and your god takes some turns before awakening. In the meantime, you use agents that will try to infiltrate kingdoms, corrupt heroes, in order to facilitate the coming of this god. And in the meantime, there is your main antagonist, which is the chosen one, who will try to stop you. So he will try to let everyone know about your presence, try to stop your agents from doing what you try to do. So it can be quite engaging. Although at the start it may be a bit intimidating, because there are a lot of mechanics which may not be as straightforward as someone might like, but once you get to know the different mechanics, it really doesn't become that hard. Like the very first god is the easiest to make, which is the snake god. I'll try, because I could do somewhere. Accept you by grow, keep it up. Hey, no problem. Thanks for coming by. I'll see you around. And yeah, for anyone who is interested in strategy games, I highly recommend this game. I don't think I've ever tried any similar games that have this level of, or I mean, not really having this level of complexity, but the theme itself, I think it's rather interesting. Okay. I think this one needs to be adjusted. Also, in these last days, I watched the movie, the third Avatar. I don't know why many people didn't really like the second one, or maybe even this one. I personally liked it, to be honest. Like, I like all three of them, really. They are okay. Nothing like they are not the next Oscar-worthy movie, but it's still a pretty enjoyable experience. Let me check something real quick. In the last stream, we dedicated a lot of time in trying to make this area look good, which I think we managed to pull it off compared to the original sketch, which was a bit not that saturated. Okay. Maybe something like this. Oops. And then maybe this part. Make it even darker. I remember when I made this sketch, the flower was the hardest part for me to make for some reason. I think that now, having done this small break, really refreshed my mind, and I think I'll be able to pull it off. Especially because we don't have any time restrictions, so we can take all of the sweet time we need to work until we get a satisfying result. Yeah, I think it already looks quite nice. I wanted this flower to be similar to an orchid, but it doesn't really look like it, but it's okay. I don't think the flowers need to resemble something in particular, as long as they resemble flowers. Then over here, let's make it darker. I usually use very few brushes, except for when I need to achieve a specific type of effect, which I think we will see once we reach the finishing touches for this one. So yeah, like I said before, I watched the Avatar movie, and I really liked it. Honestly, during these last years, I rarely go to the movie theater because there's hardly anything worth watching, if you ask me. I know that they announced the new Odyssey movie from Spielberg, maybe? I don't remember. Or Nolan, or Christopher Nolan, I don't know. It's basically, they announced this movie from Ulysses Odyssey, which by watching the trailer it seemed quite interesting, especially because the last movie about the Odyssey that I watched was pretty old, I think. Plus, the Odyssey has really interesting themes and mythologic creatures and stuff like that. I like anything that sparks the imagination. Another movie that I'm waiting for is Dune Part 3. Other than that, I'm not really expecting anything else in particular. Like nothing crazy. I think more or less that middle part is the trickiest one for this floor because I haven't really worked on it in the sketch, so now I need to kinda improvise. Yeah, something like that. Although I need to add some shadows here. And maybe make these transitions for the light less harsh. Let's try with a different brush. More or less. And then maybe add some more volume to the petals. Something like this. Then of course we'll need to make some adjustments in terms of colors and values, because I notice how this one is still not as saturated as the rest of the mask. Maybe here make it very dark. Okay, let's try making the colors much more similar to the original. And then make it a bit more saturated. Let's do the same thing with this one. Yeah, something like that. Okay, now I need to clean it up a little with this sketch, because I can see how it can be a bit detrimental. So let's do one layer for cleaning things up. One thing about the sketch, if it's too kinda in the way, an easy fix is to make it the same color as the one that's underneath. So this way you get rid of the sketch without having too much to delete and redraw. And then here, okay, I think we can put the flower part on hold for the moment and now work on the stem or the vine thingy. We just save this real quick and then go to the vine. Yeah, be back 1 second. I am wearing I'm wearing a sweater that's too heavy. Let me just change it real quick. There we go, much better. Recording is going fine, perfect. Okay, now I'd say this one should be pretty straightforward, nothing serious. I think I'll make the little these small flowers separately. I think those will be pretty easy to make. Then of course we'll need to change the lighting according to the butterfly that's here. We'll do this in a second. Okay, I think I'll add another one over here. Maybe make it so it's behind, because right now they are all in front. And maybe some we may make them behind as well. And let's move this part of the sketch. Okay. Nothing too crazy. Just enough to give a sense of volume. And then we add the thorns. Although I could try to use no, I don't think that's necessary. I was thinking about some photo bashing, but we don't need to make any particular textures at the moment. However, I can try and make this sketch more or less the same color. Yeah, more or less. Let me flip the image real quick. Something we need to do pretty often. And then maybe let me see. Yeah, we need to add all of the different thorns. let me do something like this. Okay. And now we make every right part of the same color. Maybe some parts leave them a bit brighter to give the shape. Yeah, something along those lines. Then I think we need to improve the little flowers and add more of them. And then duplicate. Something like this. Maybe this one. Change it here. We won't need to go into too much detail since this will be pretty small in comparison with everything, but I think it's worth it to add some extra care. Especially since if we do it like this, yeah, more or less. Yeah, I think we are reaching a conclusion. Let me remove this sketch. Yeah. Although I think we need some final adjustments to make the lighting really pop. Like adding some slight shadows to give direction to the light. Maybe, let me see. Yeah, still too not bright enough. So what I think I'll do is merge everything and then add a little bit of light. And then correct accordingly. Yeah, something along those lines. Now I need to add some shadows over here. And then here. And here. Yeah, more or less, I think we got it. Now we'll do these two leaf thingies, which will be pretty straightforward. Just need to find the folder where I have saved the layers. Maybe here. Nope. here, okay. Okay, now we need to add the final touches. And add the correct shadows where necessary. Maybe adjust the colors a little bit. Maybe have this one darker. Yeah, this light here doesn't make much sense. You might make much more sense if the light is coming here and here it's a bit darker. Or, yeah. Or maybe something like this, because we also need to consider the light coming from here. Or maybe something along these lines. Apologies. Yeah. Oops. Let's try. Let's see. Check the values. Wait. Let me. Kinda, yeah. I think this part needs to be darker. Yeah, maybe it's best like this, because technically this part is further away than this part. Yeah. So far, so good. Now I think we'll make the finishing touches here in the head. Maybe add one last butterfly over here. And then proceed to implement the head to the rest of the body with all of the additional effects. Let me check something real quick. When I made the big version for this one, okay, yeah, all of the particles I added them later, so we'll do the same right here. So first thing, head, need to adjust the streaks over here. This sketch needs to be adjusted. It's darker here. And over here, okay, let's remove over here. Now we'll make the cleaning process. To add this extra detail. Then fix the sketch over here. No, wait, that's for the roses, which is another thing entirely. Yeah, I need to fix that right away. and do the same thing this way as well. Okay, now we need to fix this area which is a bit too hazy. Make the edges sharper. Remove the sketch part and then okay, and maybe add a really subtle line art like this. Maybe make these shadows warmer. Okay, fix it like this. And then maybe let me try something. I want to add some shadows. Maybe up here. Maybe. Let's try with the values. Huh, yeah. Although I think I need... Yeah, let's add the last butterfly and then adjust the lighting accordingly. Maybe make it a bit different from this one. And then there we go. And now from here, oh wait, before we do any of that over here, let me fix the imperfections here. And remove it where not necessary. Although There's something. Okay. Me do this. I'm watching the chat from time to time because I want to avoid repeating the same mistake. For some reason, like in the program I am using for the chat, which is called Caster Labs, I enabled a feature that theoretically should give me an audio notification whenever I receive a new message, but for some reason it's not working, so I'll have to ask either in their Discord or on Twitter what to do to fix this problem. Okay. Okay, I think that we have a result. Maybe let me fix here. It still doesn't convince me as much. Okay, that's a bit better. Now one last thing over here. We add okay. Yeah, I need to fix this one. As well. Because it doesn't work that much here. It's too close to this one. Maybe I could do something like okay, let me try something like this. Have this one here, and then maybe have a smaller one. Done here, which then will justify the lighting over here. And then add another multiply level. Make this one even darker. And then maybe have the vine be a bit lighter. Let me swap once again. Maybe, okay, let me see over here. Okay, like this it's too much. Let's try. Maybe like this? Yeah. Let me check something. When I made this one... Yeah, I made the lighting already in the high resolution version. So now with the butterflies, we make the final adjustments. Yeah, something... I was thinking of something like this, but I don't know if it gives the same effect. Let me try instead by merging everything together. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The eyes. Need to add this little effect. It has to be imperceptible. And then we lower the opacity and make it almost invisible. Yeah, I think this one works. Yeah, okay, now we merge everything. and we make it under high resolution folder. There we go. And now we can try to add these lighting effects. Let's try with the... yeah. Actually, let me just make a copy just in case. And then I don't know if I should add this one now or later. Maybe later. One moment. Okay. So now we go back to the template. Have the main body present. Remove this one. Smart object, and we make it more or less the same. Okay. Oof, I am noticing now a problem. The way it's cut off. That's because in the high resolution version it gets cut off over here. So I say we use this version as the resized one, and then we add the little effects later. You make it a bit bigger. Let me see how it looks like as size in comparison. the size more or less. Maybe a little bit bigger. And now we add the same thing that we did when doing this part. So we darken here and add all of the extra stuff. I'll do it a bit later. I'll do a small break, get some water, and I will be right back. Here, be right back. And I'm back. After this little break, we continue. So, let's make the darker area. Something of a very dark green. It's basically pitch black, but we'll fix it later. Because now I'll need to make the references, yeah. Maybe change it. I think I'll make it so that there will be like leaves coming out of here, or maybe some petals. Let me check how I did it. Yeah. Now let's make, I think I have some brushes specifically for that. Although I will need to adjust the layers, of course. Or maybe add more butterflies to it. Let's make this a bit darker. Because here there is a big gap. I'm not sure if I want to keep it very dark, since it highlights the face, or not. Try something. Let me change. Okay, let's remove color dynamics. Then make it a different color. Or maybe... Nah, multiplies too much. Or maybe do it like this. Not sure why it always does this problem. For some reason. Okay, let me just close it and reopen it real quick. Because for some reason there is one feature that disappears and I have to close and reopen the file in order to have it functioning. Okay, let me see if it, okay, now it works. There we go, now it works as intended. Still not too convinced. Maybe I could make some flying petals. Yeah, let me first do this one right here. Do the lighting and all of that stuff. And then maybe as a different layer? Nah. Yeah, something like this. Then we need to balance this one out. Which I am noticing I made a mistake. I want to make it so it's a little bit green or maybe red. Maybe add some leaves. I don't know. I'm just trying stuff out at the moment. Here, and then we lower it even more. Let's try with the values. Let me temporarily disable this one. Okay. And maybe change the color only on this side, maybe. Let's try with once again It looks like from here to here. Maybe make it just a bit. It looks already great, but I want to make it so here it's more evident that it's about the flowers and plants. So let's make it more about plants. No, maybe instead have something on top. Maybe something like something like I'm just trying some random things to see how each one works best. Yeah, I think I need to darken this area. Just a little bit. And here, make it more cloudy. I think this works pretty nice. As for this one, let me do another test. Mostly for darkening this area even more. Maybe something like this. No, maybe it's best without. Let me remove these ones. And yeah, let me try to find a brush that's appropriate for this. Otherwise, I can just try to... Yeah, actually, let me just do that. I'll just try to draw them manually. Yeah, actually, let me just do something a bit cheeky, since I can't be bothered trying to... There we go. We did some simple photo bashing. and ending like this. Then we do something like this. Adjust the colors a little bit. Then yeah, I think this one can be labeled as finished. So far this one is the one with the most practical effects. Once we make each and every single one of them, we may need to make some adjustments and see which one works best. For example, I notice here that it's much more vibrant in terms of lighting compared to these ones, so at the end we may need to do some changes. Oh yeah, I think we have completed this one here. Now let me just paste it on the Discord and see what the others have to say. Because then we need to, now that we have this one that's complete, now I can do our test for the corner. As you can see, so once positioned, it will look like something like yeah, it will look like something like this once positioned. So we have this one like this one like this, and then this one like this. Of course, we'll have to do some final adjustments once we have every mask done in order to make it balanced between them in terms of details and style. For example, here I think I need to add some more particle effects, or at least some more haziness as of right here. Same thing maybe here, but I guess we'll see. Or maybe remove some from this one. Let me send how this one would look like. This is the vision that will be visible once you select this mask in particular during the game. So now that we have completed this third mask, we need to think about the next one that we need to make. So as of now, we made the Steward of the Hoarfrost, the Lady of the Autumn Rot, which I noticed that I'll need to... Actually, let me do it right away. Yeah, let me just do, because I noticed something that I wanted to fix before, but I didn't think about. It's just a little nitpick of mine. Which is... yeah, how compared to the sketch, which is... if I can find it. Yeah, it looks like it's a bit angry because of the decorations. So I'll now try to make some final adjustments for this one. Add something over here. Okay. And then just make the adjustments needed. And then maybe make the light more consistent here. before and after. What about something like this, maybe? Nah. Then let me try something like this. Technically, I should just move on with the next one, but I really want to make these final adjustments before continuing. Otherwise, I forget about it. And then this one. Okay. Yeah, something like this. Now I may need to make it less messy, but and then add the highlights. Over here. Maybe it's because it's too frowned over here. Yeah, let me just resize it. And then make it a bit more round. And most importantly, maybe make it less angry on this side. Yeah. Yeah, I think this one is much better than before. I'll just need to maybe make this one smaller. And then we are set. Now we can do this once again. Place it here, make it not object, and then resize it like the original. Let's do a before and after. Maybe just a little bit. Something like this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so 3 masks complete. First one, second one, and third one. Now we need to think about the fourth one, which are the Painter of Winds, the very first one that we made, the Patriarch of the Sun, the Uncle of the Harvest, and the Reaper of the Equinox. I think that we'll start with the Painter of Winds, because it's the very first one that we made. So when we did it at the beginning, we didn't have in mind too much what to do with the different masks. But now that we have the ideas a little bit more streamlined and more clear, I think we can take this initial sketch and refine it. I think this one is one of the masks that need more changes in terms of elements. So let's do just that. I wanted to also add to the references. Okay, I think this one. Okay, now that we have this mask, go here. Okay, this one much later. We need to grab the templates for the different masks. If I find it. Here's this one. So now we start the painter of winds. We'll need to have a placement for the main mask, but also need to establish more or less the size, because I think this one will need to be bigger. Yeah, something like that. Maybe it's a bit too big. Maybe something like this. Okay. And this one will be placed like this. But first, we'll do the first sketch. So now we'll need to respect the size of the original. And do the pose. As for the pose, let me grab the reference over here, if I can find it. It will be something like this, but more to the side. Maybe something more like this. We'll see. it will be something like this, but more looking down. One second. Okay. And now we'll start with this sketch. I think we'll just do the very first sketch for this one before ending the stream, and then the next one, which will be this Monday, we simply continue. It will be something of this position. Okay, one second. Okay. We'll do as we've always did, the very first sketch pretty rough, and then we'll go with the more detailed. Although I'll try to be detailed right away, so it will be much easier for me to do the next batch of sketch. Okay, maybe not this angry. So the mask itself would be something like this. Maybe fix the eye? And then add the turban. Okay. And here, oops. I may need to make it bigger. Let me fix this. Because one thing that I'm noticing is that where is it? I can find the... Oh, okay, yeah, this one. In comparison, the head here is much smaller because because much of the space is occupied by the turban. Same thing with maybe this one. I don't think that it will be much of a problem. But yeah, I would prefer if I managed to make it more or less of the same size. So what I am going to do is simply increase the size. And then have this one be slightly bigger. Because now okay, there we go. We just make it larger this way too. So now we can resize this sketch in a more appropriate manner, so it's scaled with the rest of the masks. So now we need to think about the size of the turban. It doesn't have to be too big, but I need to make the proportions right. Yeah, I made big mistake. I made it in the wrong layer. Let me see if I can find an example. Because I have one of the references that we used for the initial sketch. It's just a matter of making the shape make sense. Because we need to take into account the weight of the fabric, since it's a pretty big and heavy type of garment. Because this part would be something like what's visible over here, maybe. Then again, we may need to make some changes to the design depending on how we want to make it look realistic. So here, for instance, we need to think about the way the cloth works. And then all of the different windy cloth pieces. We need to strategically think about that and make it interesting in terms of silhouette. Then have the main smoke over here, and then the different jewels. Which we can think about more detail later. Yeah. I think this can be a good start for the next stream. Of course, there will be more things to adjust, more things to change, and in this case, especially more things to add. But just like we did with the others, we'll eventually manage to bring this one to life. Just like we did with this one. Okay. I'd say for a return from the holidays, this has been quite good progress. One second. Okay. I think this is it for today. Okay. Well, this went pretty smoothly. as with all of the other times. I am quite excited for Monday, which will mark the first month of the channel's lifespan. First month anniversary. Pretty excited. What I will expect most likely is that we'll continue with the Painter of Winds, but we will not be able to finish it. Hey, hello! See you in the next days. Hey, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. I just finished the current progress. I'll try to fix the issue for next stream, in which for some reason I have enabled one feature that should allow me to hear a sound whenever someone sends a message, but for some reason it's not working, so I will have to do some messaging to the ones that are making the program ask for some help, and hopefully try to fix it for the next stream. This way, whenever someone sends a message, I won't miss it, because sometimes I can be so locked in drawing that I may miss some messages, and I wouldn't want to do that, especially when there are so few people coming. I want at least say hi to those who want to say hi to me. That will be for Monday, which will be the last stream for the year, the 1 month anniversary for the channel, and well, good prospects for the next year. I'll let you know on Monday. Until then, I'll see you in the next stream. This has been the Void Executive, and thank you for coming. Have a good evening, everyone. We'll see you next time.